We welcome you to Houston, Texas. I'm Ed Cohen with the former Chicago Bulls guard Jay Williams. And Jay, from the land of the space program, we're ready for takeoff.
That's right, and they're letting those threes fly from everywhere on the court. Let's see if this team can win a third championship.
Ready to go here from Toyota Center. Let's gear up for the opening tip. Jay, not too often do you find a rookie leading a playoff team, but that's the case with a coach's son in Donovan Mitchell.
And he's found a trick, Ed. Do you know what the trick is?
What's that?
The trick is to find your motivation each and every day. I love the banter that goes on between him and Ben Simmons about who's up for Rookie of the Year, who's supposed to get the reward, because it doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is that you find that fire, and that's what Donovan Mitchell is creating, that environment for himself where he can get the best of himself each and every night. That's the kind of moxie the young man brings to the game.
We knew he was athletic. 13th pick, falling to the Jazz in the lottery, had a great summer league, burst into training camp, and emerged as the #1 threat for Quinn Snyder. Flushes down the slam. Jay, that's a strong connection.
And it's always about the play before the play. Look how the eyesight was able to connect between two players. We call that an eyesight contract, because when you have a contract that's signed, sealed, and then delivered like that, that's how great plays are made.
Rockets have the ball. Paul to P.J. Tucker. Here comes the screen. The screen sets him up for two.
Bread and butter. And there are few that can do it better off the screen.
Mitchell with the basketball. He'll run the offense to Favors. Joe Ingles. Jay, we talk about it all the time. The coaches in this league, who best puts their players in a position to shine? And now I give you Quinn Snyder.
I remember Quinn Snyder, after an ugly loss to Atlanta last year, really made some changes to their system. And here's the thing I love about Quinn Snyder. He recruited me when I was 15 and 16 years old. He was an assistant coach at Duke. The way he spoke to me really got me to buy in. He taught me that it was about being part of something bigger than yourself. And when you buy into what Quinn Snyder preaches, that's how you end up beating OKC in the first round of NBA playoffs.
Second and 3, no good. Gordon with it. They trail by 2. To Capella. Paul. Off the assist.
As my mother would say to the defender, A for effort, F for results.
Donovan Mitchell with the rock. To Gobert. Ricky Rubio. 2 for 2. That's what you want.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Paul to Harden. Curling inside. Paul, it goes down. Oh, he's feeling good. Maybe too good. When you look at playmakers in the last decade plus, what sets Chris Paul apart?
He always puts you in a position to succeed. He leads because he's vocal, and when he directs and he guides, there is nobody better at the position than CP3.
Here comes the screen. Add 2 points to the board.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
To Capella. Paul. Here comes the screen. To Paul. Rockets with 4 to shoot. Has a chance. And a put-back slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
Utah's got it. Rubio matched up with Harden. Joe Ingles work it down to Favors. Oh, he had it. Harden with it up top. 10-all is our score. To Paul. Harden. To P.J. Tucker. Paul buries it on the catch and shoot.
Every hero needs a good sidekick. Nice find to set up a three.
The assist from number 17, P.J. Tucker.
Deep three at the buzzer. So the Rockets with the lead after one at Toyota Center. Back with more on a Sunday night after this. This is the NBA, and it's on EA Sports. On to the second quarter. Jay, I don't know if we're going to see quite that level of offensive production that we saw to start this one.
Both teams are on fire, but speaking of competitive juices, one of the beautiful things that we heard during the timeout, in a team huddle, you heard multiple voices that weren't the coach saying how much more they needed to fight in order to win this game. Oh, trust me, the intensity level is going to pick up a couple of notches.
To Harden. Has a look. James Harden. He's 2 for 2 now. The challenge defending a guy who can be a 1 or a 2.
We're not old men talking about this game. We don't define players by positions anymore. Is he a 1 or is he a 2? No, he's James Harden. He is a scorer and an elite passer.
Rubio. To Joe Ingles. The Jazz with 4 on the shot clock. Rubio knocks it down and the foul. He's going to the line for a chance at a 4-point play.
If you're the defender, you can't keep your hand outwards in the pocket of the shooter. The offensive player recognized that. He raked his arms into yours on his way up to take the shot. That's a foul every time.
Ricky Rubio with a chance at a 4-point play. A career 83% free throw shooter. Off the mark at the line. Paul into the front court. Minute gone by. We've got a 2-point game in this second quarter. Harden fires the three. Second effort. Nice touch around the basket with the tip. Jazz will take a timeout as they'll talk things over in what's now a 4-point game. Rubio guarded by CP3. To Favors. Knocked loose. Rockets have it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
Harden. That's off the side of the rim. No good. To Paul. Rudy Gobert with the block. Ooh, Chris Paul. That's 3 now on 4 shots.
Ed, all this talk I heard over the summer, what about CP3's hamstring? Will he be able to get back his first step? Will he still have it? There you go.
Out of bounds the call. Last touch by Donovan Mitchell. Paul with it up top. Up 6. Capella to Harden. Nothing going here on that drive. Screen coming.
2 minutes remaining
Harden
in the
to
second.
Paul. Shot clock, it's coming down to 4. Now down to 3 from long range. Here's Rubio into the front court. Now down 6. Ricky Rubio. Terrific shooting. He's 4 for 5.
Ricky's never really been the guy to look for his shot first, though he did average a career high in points per game last season, and it all starts with that blow-by first step that sets up his opponent.
They work it to Capella, down low, and a throwdown.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
And scores at the rim, Jay. Good luck recovering from that.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Paul to Harden. Nothing going here on that drive. Paul to P.J. Tucker. Fires the 3. Tucker, dead on three-point shooter. Tough to guard.
I gotta be real here. I think he was the only one expecting to shoot that shot. The crowd, the coaching staff, every other player on the court, and myself, all of our mouths are left wide open right now.
Rubio. To Joe Ingles. 5 to shoot for Utah. Gets it in the right corner. Rubio. That's off the side of the rim, short. Now Paul with the basketball. His guys can hold for the final shot. Trying to cash in. Ooh, Chris Paul. Looking good. 4 for 5. Late heave to beat the buzzer. Time expires to end the first half. The Rockets with the lead.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jalen Rose, and this is your EA Sports Halftime Report. The Rockets entered the locker room at halftime with a significant lead, and these guys have every reason to feel good about how they scored effectively in that opening half. Great offensive display. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Houston Rockets. The Jazz did a lot of things wrong in that opening half. The way they struggle doesn't bode well for them at all. But if they've got some fight in them, we'll know right away in the third quarter. These are the guys getting buckets for the Utah Jazz.
Game track. Rebounds.
The Houston Rockets are ahead at the half, and a big reason has been their excellent rebounding. When you control the boards, you can control the game.
Player of the half.
The film speaks for itself. He's definitely the player of the half. Now he just got to give an encore to get his team to win.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have off nights. Today has just been one of those nights for this guy. Here we go with the top 3 plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
And that concludes our halftime report. Thanks for joining us, and see you again after the game.
Harden into the front court. It's a 9-point lead. To Paul. Gets it down to Capella. Clint Capella. The defense is really going to have to start paying attention. He's 5 for 5 for the field.
This is why I go back into player mode. If a dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
Here's Harden with the rock. To Capella. Cashes in for 2.
Hey, one of the things I hear all the great teams say in the huddle, they say 1, 2, 3, no mercy. Now it's time for you to go even harder on the defensive end.
Take part in a smoke-free environment. So we ask that all smoking take place in the designated areas located outside of the arena. Thank you for your cooperation.
Rubio against Chris Paul. Knocked loose. Rockets have the steal. Here's CP3. Ooh, Chris Paul. He's now 5 for 6.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in the defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
Mitchell. Harden's on him. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Harden with the basketball. His guy's up by 15. Nice pace. Sets it up and slams it down.
Man, they are just continuing to pour it on. But the one thing we know about in this league, you have to make sure that you continue to play with energy because leads can evaporate quickly.
Mitchell shot off the mark. With the rock, it's Chris Paul. To Harden. Shot clock to 4 for Houston. Harden can't go down. Smothering defense.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Rubio calls out of bounds. Last touch by Ricky Rubio. Gordon with it. His guys hold a commanding lead. It's Paul for 2. He connects. Had all the time in the world. Too easy.
And I have so much admiration for guys that continue to hunt their shot. They're playing the second half like it was the first 5 minutes of the ball game. Those natural-born leaders are guys that will consistently lead your team to the promised land.
Gets a look. Can't hit. Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor. Doesn't have the touch. No good. Rubio into the front court. His guys down big. To Favors. The Jazz with 4 on the shot clock. Knocked loose. And that's going to get out of bounds off of Harden. "24-second violation." Harden to Paul. Count the basket. 2 more points in the paint.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Rubio picked up by Paul. To Gobert. Rudy Gobert. Better late than never. That was his first shot, and it goes down.
Old school equals high percentage.
Paul across the timeline. Shot clock turned off as they try to extend the lead. Here comes the screen. Driving right to the basket. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
James Harden at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. A career 85% free throw shooter. Harden hits the free throw. It's a 3-point play. The Rockets extend their lead. Deep 3 at the buzzer. That ends the third quarter. The Rockets way out in front. It's Utah basketball as we begin the fourth quarter, and they've really had very little go right for them on either end of the floor.
Remember that old line, your attitude determines your altitude? Well, when you see dejected faces on the sideline, that poor body language gave you an impression that they had no chance to win this game.
Paul into the front court. His guys holding the big lead. Screen coming. Rockets with 4 to shoot. To Paul. Has a chance. Paul's shot won't go down. Here's Rubio up top. Down a bundle. Short jumper stays out. To Paul. Tucker. Capella down low. Oh, great pass, setting up the basket.
This may sound cheesy, but sometimes you just need to sit back, get a tub of popcorn, and just enjoy the show, because that's what you're watching right now.
Rubio to Joe Ingles. Mitchell against Harden. Now a step back.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Harden in possession. Looking to make something happen. The drive right to the basket. He wants it at the rim and scores.
Might have had an extra dribble or 2 there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Here's Rubio into the front court. He'll run the offense. Joe Ingles to Favors. Clint Capella sends it away.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
Slams it down. At this point, if it continues, it just may be good night, Irene.
And ooh, I like that Irene line.
There you go, Jay.
And sometimes as a player on the defensive end, Ed, you need to draw a line in the sand. You have to find a way to change the narrative because right now the constant theme has been too many easy buckets.
Jay, don't deny it. You're an old soul at heart.
Yeah, I still don't know who Irene is, though.
Me neither. Curling inside. Harden trying to take it to the basket, but a shot stays out. Lets it fly from long range. Where's the chatter? No one was even close to him.
It's all about creating space with the dribble. Once you have that gap, you can beat somebody in a variety of ways. He chose a dagger with the three.
To Harden. Nothing going here on that drive. Harden to P.J. Tucker. For three. Man, that was a tough shot.
Yeah, and what we're seeing is a brilliant offensive display. You have ball movement, player movement, and great shooting to top it off. You get those three things going, you're going to be a dynamic offensive unit.
Here comes the screen. Ingles, guarded by Clint Capella. To Rubio. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Not done. And a putback slam.
Ed, it's pretty amazing how athletic bigs can be when it comes to getting an easy 2 points, huh?
It's Rockets ball. It's the Rockets who are victorious as they cruise to win a game that was never really in doubt. That does it. For my partner Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. As we say, so long, everyone.
Hey everyone, it's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Rockets could not have been more dominant in this game. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Houston Rockets. The Jazz did not look good in this one, and neither did the score. My advice for these guys is not to watch any TV tonight because it's not going to help them forget about this game. Everyone is going to be talking about this one. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Utah Jazz.
Game track. 3-point shooting.
The Houston Rockets did their best work away from the basket. They used a combination of perimeter defense and long-range scoring to get themselves the win.
Player of the game.
If you asked him, I'm sure he'd give the credit to his teammate and coaches. But at the end of the day, we know that he's the one that made the biggest impact on this game. These are the top 3 plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
See y'all next time. Jalen Rose, signing out.